Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Rakshasa Street, Episode 1. But before we begin, beware of spoilers, watch out and take care. And I hope you enjoy the video.
A man's voice is heard in the background, talking about the destiny and future of a man, while people are waiting for the red light to turn green for them to cross the busy road. Most of them check their wristwatch continuously. Finally, the green light appears, and the people cross the road. The man talking about destiny and the future of man is focused on the middle of the road. He appears to be talking to a younger lady. He wears a mask to cover only his mouth, and a pair of shades covering his eyes. He continues educating the lady on the future of man. He proceeds to give the lady his business card. The young lady collects the card and reads out the details on the card. Gifu Santong, fortune teller. The lady expresses disdain at the whole idea. The man tries to convince her to give it a try, to check her future. But she disagrees and flings the card into the air and begins to walk away. While walking away, a biker suddenly hits her, and all the contents in her bag pour messily out onto the ground. The biker stands behind with an irritated facial expression and tells her it's all dirty. The lady thinks he's referring to her belongings on the ground and assures him that she can get another one easily. But she was cut short when the biker tells her angrily that he was referring to his takeout food. Just then, she sees the wasted food on the ground and makes an apology almost immediately. The biker demands payment for the wasted food. She becomes annoyed and fires back at the biker for running into her while the green light for pedestrians was on. As she turns back to point to the light, she's met with disappointment because the light was red and blames it on the fortune teller. But unfortunately, he wasn't there anymore. He is seen on the top of a building watching the whole drama from above. After a few minutes, he leaves. The biker calculates the total bill for the takeout food, which comes to 73 yuan and 50 cents. The biker gives her a lower discount and tells her to only pay 73 yuan. The lady still whines at the ridiculous amount of money, even though he gave her a discount. She pays, and the biker, who appears to be a delivery man, confirms the amount and warns her to be careful next time and drives away. The lady curses loudly at him as he drives away. She packs her resumes on the floor. Unknowingly to her, the card she flinged earlier landed in between some of her resumes, and she packs it into her bag without checking. A large hall with open offices filled to the brim with different applicants appears, and the young lady is seen in an interview. She tells the interviewer about herself, but he appears uninterested. She moves on to a second interviewer, who appears a bit interested and asks her about her future. She ponders on it for a while before giving a shabby reply. The last set of interviewers she goes to also acts interested, as they were discussing about food that they will order. After the 3 interviews, she goes to the restroom, disappointed. The last set of interviewers walks into the restroom as well and talks about the naive attitude of most of the fresh graduates who came for the interview while washing their hands. The young lady in the restroom is disappointed. The young lady gets home late at night and sits lazily in the bathtub, after which she freshens up and sits by the window in her room, pondering about what the interviewers said in the restroom. While lost in her thoughts, her phone receives a message. She checks it out and discovers it was another request for an interview. She's very happy. She grabs her bag and quickly dresses up to go to the stated address for the interview. She gets to the address and notices it was a lonely street. She sees a street sign which reads, Rakshasa Street. As she proceeds to step into the street, the entrance glows, as if she's stepping into another dimension. The black card that the fortune teller gave her also glows in her bag, which looks like it was the key to the dimension she just walked into. She walks along the lonely street. After a while, she realizes the odd hour, and she gets an interview request. and begins to get scared. Maybe it was organ traffickers or human traffickers. Immediately, she turns back to go home, but she can't find her way back. She then realizes she's lost and checks her phone, hoping to find help, but discovers it's disconnected. While tapping on her phone screen continuously, she bumps into a large figure and falls to the ground. She raises her head and realizes it's a male figure dressed as a samurai. She's perplexed and thinks it's a movie prop for a show. The man's eyes glow with a greenish color, and he roars loudly, exposing his shark-shaped teeth. He raises his sword to slash the lady. She quickly dodges it and rolls and bumps into another group of samurai. Their eyes glow in a similar color. They rush to attack her. 2 brothers. The older one is the delivery man the lady bumped into that morning. They both sense the presence of the figures and call them ghosts. The younger brother senses the lady. The lady is seen running away with tears in her eyes. A hand suddenly punches through the ground and knocks her over. The ghosts rush over her and start scratching her. One of the ghosts attempts to bite her. Before it can, it's shot with an arrow in the head. Shortly, the other ghosts surrounding the girl are also shot. The 2 brothers appear on the top of a building, the older one holding a weapon wrapped with a marked white bandage. The younger one holds a short kunai knife. The older one leaps mightily into the air and lands with his weapon directed into the ground, giving rise to a twist of flames that takes out all the surrounding ghosts. The other ghosts rush towards him, and he begins to take them down, one by one. Meanwhile, the younger brother sits down with the lady and asks why she came to the gates of hell. She is visibly confused. The boy continues to explain to her that she is on Requiem Street, a place for holding the spirits of the dead and connecting ghostdom with the human world, with each Requiem Street requiring a Requiem General. He further explains that his older brother is the Requiem General of Rakshasa Street. While the lady is trying to make sense of all of this, the older brother introduces himself as Xiao Yangbang. The minute he mentions his name, the lady recognizes his voice, and both of them begin to argue, with Xiao wondering how a girl like her, being a human, could even get there in the first place. In the midst of the argument, a larger ghost walks towards them. Xiao silences the lady with his hand and faces the ghost. He is surprised that the ghost can talk. The ghost explains that he was once a general while he was alive, and he has come to take over Rakshasa Street. The 2 brothers let out a light chuckle. Xiao explains that the Requiem General was chosen by the ghostdom, and Rakshasa Street is the most dangerous Requiem Street. The talking ghost powers up, and they begin to fight, with Xiao taking the upper hand with his surprise attacks. The talking ghost smacks him suddenly, and he rushes to finish. But Xiao covers himself with a ball of fire, which breaks the ghost's word. Xiao appears at the ghost's back and summons a large, intense flame from his weapon, which fires at the ghost. A large snake arises from the flame and quickly approaches Xiao, but he blocks the attack with his weapon. The snake is attached to the ghost's arm, which he's using to fight Xiao. The ghost begins to dominate the fight, but Xiao manages to catch the snake and use it to swing the ghost into a wall. The snake suddenly breaks through the ground, but Xiao is quick to avert the attack. But not for long, when the ghost kicks Xiao and delivers a mighty blow, throwing him into a building. The lady covers her mouth in fear as she thinks she's dead. The ghost laughs, thinking he has defeated Xiao, and claims Rakshasa Street. He orders the remaining ghosts to kill the lady and Xiao's brother. The lady begins to shiver, but the boy just keeps on grinning. As the ghosts approach, Xiao rises from the ruins of the building, and he explains that the ghostdom chose humans because they can become invincible when combined with spirit. At that moment, Xiao summons his guardian spirit, Shu Chu, a giant red samurai spirit, emerges from behind Xiao. Xiao orders it to finish off the talking ghost. Zhu Shu summons a ball-like head weapon from its hand and uses it to deliver a mighty blow on the talking ghost. This finishes him off and breaks through the floor, creating ridges that destroy the surrounding ghosts. Xiao challenges the remaining ghosts, and they fearfully bow down to him. In the background, the lady's voice is heard, introducing herself as Xia Ling, a graduate of architecture. Her voice and the fortune teller's voice is heard in the background together as they give the same speech on destiny and the future of man.